Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back up here. After yesterday's too much shadow work for it and too many things that goes on. I have a purpose for it. Those purpose in there is about one thing: you to gain strength, you to find balance, you to gaining this internal strength to go through life for it because the life can get you unsuspected things, can trigger unsuspected situations within you. And talking about within this, in there, even that I look at it for 2 days ahead of the astrology report there this morning. For it, the storm is going to be brewing. You're going to go through storms. You need to understand that walking into the storm with the right consciousness and there will make you different at the end of the storm. You're either going to get loose in the storm or you're going to get stronger into the storm. So the right and wrong today is going to come in so powerful there. You're going to feeling it, this internal war inside of you with this. And that internal war is going to be between the intuition and authority with the universe. It's like, why the universe puts me through this? Why the universe gives me this sights of I feel this and I understand this, and nothing gets authorized and nothing is get moved in there. Nothing is just getting it within the situations for. Too much will be going on. You're gonna be seeing it. This kind of like conflict that it's brewing. To the moon, it's gonna be going into the end of Scorpio, which is she's gonna be opposing what? An opposite side that is a Uranus, an opposite side a Taurus. This is when the people begin to failing. When the intuition it's opposing Uranus, that is a that the universe brings you this events that you have not learned something, you have not felt something right, you are fighting something, and here is coming in the energy of the authority that actually discourages all this, and that is going to be leading to this conflict. Okay, and those conflicts in there, what are you going to do? How are you going to be resolve conflicts? You see, the resolving of conflicts is if you had a similar conflicts in the past in there, what are they going to be teaching you? And this is what the intuition knows, the past experience, the wisdom in there, and to create the proper action. But at the same time, it's preparing you for the storm. See, the intuition knows what the action should have been. And this is going to come from the moon being divine energies with Mars and Jupiter in Gemini. Okay. You to determine the right to wrong from within yourself. You to go ahead and develop it, this ability of security. But you need to understand there is no security on this earth. It's only an opportunity to be a secure. And this is why when a Uranus is going to be opposing the moon and squaring the sun, those going to be unpredictable events, unpredictable things, but those going to be a triggers. Okay, remind you that is going to be testing your strength. That strength of the new moon that started that beautiful energy of this unifications in there. I gonna be keeping it. It's kind of like a very tricky situations, and please refraining from any kind of like negative talks, negative thinking, negative situations, but you have to tap it into them. Basically, see them, process them, getting it there because those energies gonna come and they are gonna be helping you to get better. Okay, you might not gonna understand it in the first place because this is maybe too advanced for you, and so on. But when you just learning the negative, learning the positive, you're not gonna know the proper actions to put it together. Because in 2 days, the moon is gonna be opposing Mars and Jupiter. And what are you going to be saying it in there? Okay. Because when she's entering there, first of all, she's going to be squaring Venus, she's going to be squaring Mercury. And in that position, she's going to be training the sun in there. That authority from within yourself to remind you about this. Okay. But she's going to be opposing that. And with opposing Mars and Jupiter and squaring Saturn in 2 days, things can get really south. Really south. And this is why this storm is preparing you about this. Okay? It's kind of like a storm's coming. I got to prepare it in there. Passed over your limitations. And today, this right or wrong is going to be finding from looking at the higher self, but also the lower self within you. And that's good. And that's going to be starting with Mercury. In the morning, the midheaven is with Uranus, that it squares Mercury to it. But right now, Pluto in there, it's empowering Mercury, and Mercury is in divine energies with Neptune. This is what I'm talking about. This wisdom is going to be reviewed. Have you got that right wisdom? Have you got the things from right to wrong? Are you sure you're going in the right things? Because that energy is reviewing right now. Is asking you to review it, but don't act on it. Because Mercury is going to go forward, it's going to make the authority, it's going to reevaluate everything, it's going to take a charge within the authority, the proper things within the authority, then it's going to come back in the same place. Now, when it goes to that same place, then you're going to be talking about this, but not right now. This is why some of the people during the Mercury retrograde will fail. Okay? Failing in anything, relationships, business ships, partnership, seeing forward within life, sabotage. This is gonna be these things like I'm not made for this. You are right now today to understand where are you standing at, what is your things that you need to do, and how you to get stronger. Or so the right and the wrong is gonna come in and gonna be triggered there. Particularly, we're talking about these energies of 8 o'clock to midheaven is with Mars. You see these limitations here, and that is what I come to this energy. I see it. I look at it. I see what my weaknesses are, but I know what my strength is. Okay. And when you evaluate your weak spot, you're going to be working on your weaknesses, maintaining your strength. Okay. This is gonna comes in from the moon being a Scorpio, because Scorpio finds this internal fire of I have my own strength, and the intuition has its own strength. But right now she's beginning to see the rising conflict within the authority, that situations from the universe in there. And be careful with this authority, because that authority in there can lead you with the problems with the bosses, with the situation, especially we're talking about between this 9 and 10 o'clock energies in there, because this is going to have those reflections of 8 o'clock energies that you're putting within you. It's going to have a reflecting 9 and later on at 10 o'clock. But you see, the spirit and the soul is going to talk. All right. That positive energy from the divine energies towards Chiron, it's to healing in there. Pretty much the big guys are still out there working with us, but the authority is like, I need to heal those negative patterns. I need to heal this, what it's not right. And this can leading to a lot of kind of like limits in there. And if you feel limited, you think that the people limit you. No, the people didn't limit you. It's just about you to understand it's your own limit. Okay, Mars and Jupiter right now squaring Saturn is all about this. But that is to prevent you from this pitfall that you're going to. Okay, you're going to be looking at that pitfall for you to understand it, what goes on. Because then Mercury is going to come back. Then Mercury is going to come back and put you on that pitfall, so you can get training on how to get back up and moving forward in life. Okay, so don't get disillusions out of you that right now you have to do all this situations there. All right, 10 o'clock it's coming. The midheaven is that energy that's going to be square Lilith and the North Node. This is when you see, oh, well, I don't see this future. I don't see this stuff. I don't get it. And so on and so on. But that is a this test to see it. Yeah, you're not seeing it right now because you're training. How you want to be seeing something that you have not learned. You need to go to a training. You need to train yourself on something. And now to that training of the Mercury retrograde in there, you're going to be training what? The authority within you. What are you authorizing? The proper wisdom that is going to be. At the same time, the sun, which is actually the authority, is going to be where the Mercury is going to get into these divine energies in there. Okay? But looking at within those energies in about like a week from now, okay, where the moon is going to be. The moon is going to be in opposite side. It's going to be again beginning to square the authority. So from here now, from this first quarter of the moon into the full positions, you're going to be having a rough training. You're going to be having that energies in there. But between all this, it's going to be this beautiful, beautiful trines, right? But they're going to be focused with what? Fire and air energies. Okay, emotions, vibrations, they're going to be going nuts. Okay, and talking about this, today I was walking Sensei and I found that nut. I'm like, what is the universe wants to tell me? And like, and so on, so on. All right, the day also is going to have a good moments. We're talking about this midheaven, but it's going to be at 11 o'clock there with the intuitions and Saturn. That is at the time when you realize and you sit down. It's like, okay, I'm good at this. I'm bad at this. I'm ugly at this. So let me fix a little bit of the ugly. Let me fix a little bit of the bad. And I know what I'm good at. So my focus should be in there to see. So when the storm comes in, I can be prepared. This is kind of like if you're preparing for a tornado or you're preparing for a hurricane in there, you go around the house. It's like, okay, this is my weak points in here. Here's the windows. I need to cover the windows. I need to cover this. That's not that too strong. I need a support. May create support in here and so on and so on. Okay, but you're training for it. You've seen it. You see what you need, what materials you need, what understanding you're going to need for going forward. All right, the next hour, the ascendant is going to be at Libra. The balance, yeah, some of you probably working on this. Balance it within yourself. Of course, it's gotta come in. It's gotta be pushed through it. Midheaven is at the authority situations within Leo. Seeing it inside is like, okay, I'm authorizing this shadow work. I'm authorizing all this, and that's going to be follow up from the yesterday's energies, okay? Because the stories continue, our lives continue. And when you see this within yourself, you have this beauty because you know, okay, that the love right now is heading towards destiny. You're destined for this love. You maybe don't like certain things. You maybe don't like certain situations. You don't like that the universe put you through this, and you're gonna be feeling it at the end of the day. Okay, because the moon is gonna be opposing Uranus. And let me tell you, when the intuition is getting angry at the universe, and that is squaring the sun, all you can trigger is a dark night of the soul. All you can trigger anxieties. Or you're going to trigger panic attacks inside of you. Instead of you sit down within yourself and doing the right thing. All you can do is work on your weaknesses. Don't worry about the rest of the stuff. Okay? Right thing, guys. The right thing. All right. So here is that the authority right now knows that there is a problem with intuition. Something is not quite okay. Something is not quite right. The moon sees through this warrior and tries to tell, like, don't fight. It's not about fighting. It is about training. But higher training leads to a proper approach of how you're going to be acting in life. And the harder the training, the better the performance. And that is going to come of learning with Saturn. Because right now, midheaven, the sun, it is looking at that wisdom. Okay, I know it's going to be hard. I know it's going to be crazy. Because if you see it that right now, that the sun, the authority inside of you, is learning this wisdom. The same way is the moon is in divine energies with Jupiter and Mars. The growth. But yeah, you got to be put into this, kind of like a meat grinder. The life's got to grind you. It's got to put you. It's got to be, and you don't like it. Nobody likes it. But that is the only path for you to evolve because you were weak at certain times. And this is where the trainings is about this. All right. Now it is intuition time. The ascendant is going with the moon. You're going to be seeing at the moon. It's going to be very powerful. Then the intuition is going to be like, what? Me? Problem with you? Yeah. Yeah, we got a problem. We need to see this problem. We need to see what is it, the right and the wrong. And guess what? This divine energy is from the previous hour. It's going to come in and so on. And here is why this energy of these communications, this energy at the beginning of the new moon is like, are you going to be keeping the same attitude towards each other, within yourself, with your intuitions and authority? That's going to reflect the intuition and authority with the other person during those hard times. And you will see that it's all having a divine purpose. Sun is in divine energies with Saturn there. Mercury is in the top of this energies with Neptune and Pluto. Venus is in divine energies with the North Node. The Moon is in divine energies with Mars and Jupiter. Everything has divine purpose, guys. The only thing it is, are you listen to the soul in there? Okay, don't kind of like a projecting stuff or getting into things. Sit down with yourself and master it. Train. Do something about it. Of course, the intensity is gonna come and it shows you what you're gonna be doing it for. That's what the ascendant is. I say so many times here at the report for it. The midheaven, the inner work that you're going to be working is about Mars and Jupiter and Saturn and so on. You're realizing that growth. When you sit down within yourself, I have so much BS. I have so much stuff. I have so much unfinished things. I have so much immature things, or however it's in your case. And that. But it's giving you a heads up. It's like, hey, intuition, that's what you're going to get in there. And now within all this duality of the right and wrong, they're gonna comes in the wisdom, the proper situations is there, because the divine right now, it's working between Chiron, Mars and Jupiter. You're healing something in the shadow. You're healing your weakness. You're gaining the strength. You see, the soul is your muscle, but the spirit training your soul. Now you're building that strength within the soul within you. Those are powerful moments. But yes, you have to go through this meat grinder. Okay. All right. Talking about the next hour, this is going to be a little bit the preview, but it's also this shows you what it's not balanced within the past and future. Kind of like, well, I did so many things and so on and so on. Why do I have to deal again with the same thing? You're gaining strength because you see it this. You're going to be seeing the things that it's in balance. That is going to show you what the work is going to be done. When at the moon, it's going to go there at the Sag. Basically, the future is revealed to yourself. Okay, and if you're following the energies and the vibrations, things is going to comes in and right away in your head is going to comes out. Oh my God, I need to think positive. I need to stay positive. I cannot control others, but I need to maintain my self-positiveness and maintain my balance with me. It doesn't matter what the hell is going on out there in the society. And now that is the straight. Okay. Because through that energy of the ascendant that it's there, you're going to be reaching to that destiny in there instead of fighting it. To create balance within the imbalance. You need to be okay what is not in balance. And that's how you maintain your balance. Okay. Despite the hardnesses, you to go ahead and go forward. Despite the issues, despite the problems, the situations, and so on, however it's in your case. All right, talking about this is send me back in there, which is supposed to go forward. There you go. See that ascendant is gonna comes in there, which is I was talking about in 2 days. It's gonna give you this. What is the reason? You see that energies up here of ascendant. It is opposing Mars and Jupiter, and that is square as Venus, and that is a square Saturn. You're gonna go through this. Okay. Now, if you gave up, what happened when you gave up? You gave up on what it's meant for you. That mid-heaven in there, there is that Libra shows up like, okay, I'm just balancing and so on and so on. But you're following the mid-heaven's energies. They're going into the sun is going to a Chiron, and that energy from the Chiron goes back into the ascendant. It's giving you the synchronized energies. It says like this is the road. But you need to know what you're going to face. The enemy from within. That's what you're going to face. You're going to be facing your own enemy from within. And this is how you learn that sometimes some of those enemy from within is the one that's sabotaging you, or you abandoning, you doing so many crazy stuff. You create actions, even take things personally, even to abandoning other people because you abandoning yourself. And this rough moments in there of that shadow work, because the moon is still at Scorpio, that's gonna come too. But it's gonna remind you, it's like, hey, you're doing this shadow work for your destiny, okay? That's what you're doing. That inner work is gonna be pointing out what happens yesterday. And if you did the work yesterday, if you haven't watched the report from yesterday, go watch it. See if you missed something. Use that power of Mercury retrograde to go back. You know, the one of the positiveness of Mercury retrograde that you can review. You can review so many things. Okay, as long as you don't stay there. Don't stay in the past. You know, life goes forward. Okay. And here is it's coming. The midheaven right now, the moon is like, okay, I see it what is. I see that this past authorities, these energies, I see that this aggravations towards the universe doesn't lead to anything. You're gonna see those energies. The moon is gonna be begin to opposing Uranus, and it's gonna be squaring the sun. That's gonna be at 7 p.m. Oh, you're gonna feel those energies. But at the same time, those divine energies towards Chiron, it's kind of like a healing these patterns, and Chiron healing is the authority. So there will be no issue. There will be no problem. But you have to go through the mud. You have to go through this training of yourself. You have to go through this unpleasant emotions in there for it, so you can figure out where they come from. You. Okay. The hardest battles is you within yourself, you know. But the moon is going to have this beautiful energies with Chiron. She's going to have the beautiful energies with the North Node, beautiful energies with Neptune, proper inner work that is going to come in at the end of the day. But that right there, it's going to begin to be boiling, fighting the universe. And this is one of the authority and the moon, they have to understand. You cannot fight the universe. It's impossible. But you have to cooperate with the universe. Because everyone who tries to steer the universe and so on in there, and oh, let me do it my way. let me take my controls over the other person, the other situations, and so on and so on. You know, one of the biggest failure is one of the biggest failure in the business is when the employee says something to you and you ignore it, and years later you realizing that ignoring them cost you millions. So this is kind of like thinking about it. Okay, talking about the next hour is going to be at 8 o'clock energies. Midheaven is going to be at Sag too. Of course, there's going to be opposing Mars and squaring Venus. You are going to be like, oh my, I don't feel the love. I don't feel this compassion anymore. It's too much this, it's too much that. And guess what? The North Node and Pluto and Ascendant and Neptune and Saturn, they're pouring these divine energies. The moon's got that energies with Chiron. It's healing. Now is the time of doing the right thing. Put your ego aside. Put your feelings, emotions, this negative crap, toss it out of the window, shake it up a little bit. Like, you take your sheets from your bed because you sleep, you have negatives. Go shake it up. You shake those energies off. That's what the purpose is in there. Not only that, whatever you have in your bed. And clean it up. Go take a shower. Go take this. Okay? It's a border. It's emotions. Get back into the right emotions with yourself. And this is what that divine energies through the spirit within you move into the soul. From the soul, they're going into your mind, and the mind understand and process it, and the intuitions and the authority understanding this. Okay, so prioritizing and understanding how the energies work and the gravity that it comes in. Now you're understanding that whatever you're going to be thinking, that's what's going to come to you. You're thinking negative, you think like the love is not there, you think like the relationship is gone, and this beautiful beginning of the moon and the sun out that for it, it's kind of like this is the people when the first time they have a very little conflict, and they're like, oh, this relationship doesn't work. Well, that is the strength of the testing the relationship, but the test of the relationship begins first where in your mind. You have a weak mind, you have a weak soul, weak spirituality in there. Guess what? You're gonna give up. You don't have the strength there. But when you have the proper energies, the proper situations, the proper attractions in there, because you attract what you are, guess what? You're going to be able to ascending. And what is the evolution was? Exactly that. You to evolve on the basis of the new spirituality that talks to your soul. So you to be better in your life. You to reach that destiny that you want. But it's self-mastery. All right, talking about 9 o'clock energies, the midheaven is going to be there. That is going to be, as I said, the moon is going to be trining right here. The Chiron and the sun, this is going to be the healing time for that warrior right here. This is a Mars and Jupiter, the growth, squaring Venus and the ascendant that it's there, and so on. And at the same time, there's squaring with Saturn. If you're limiting yourself, from the training, if you're limiting yourself from listening your soul that wants to listen to spirit, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to crash and burn. Power moments, dark night of the soul, panic attacks, and so on and so on and so on. You're going to have fears, dreams that's going to come into you, pulling out of your subconscious mind in there, because you focus on that. But when you focus on the right things, okay, Pluto says, talk positive to yourself. Neptune says, like, hey, we are coaching and teaching you. Don't act on it. Don't act prematurely on their stuff. The one is like, let's heal. Okay, despite the situations and the confrontations, let's heal. It's a self-healing process. And this is how the relationships are getting strong. Stay together at the rough times. Oh, well, car broke down, burned down. Oh, well, we get it. House broke down, burned down. We're going to make it. It is okay as long as we're together. I see that is going to be that test. But if you focus like, oh, it's your fault, it's your things, it's your man, it was your mistake, you make me fail, then you holding me, or guess what? You're still not cooperating. Okay, and that is the power of the cooperation, not codependency, cooperation. You operate together in union. All right. Talking about 10 o'clock, the midheaven is going to Capricorn in there. The service, yeah, you're going to be looking at that service. You're going to be looking at that inner work. But that is the beautiful time of the moments to talk about the love and proper communications and setting up the right mindset of trainings inside of you. Okay, that comes in of this beautiful trines with Venus and Mercury. The love, always know how to heal yourself. Always does. Okay, as long as you're talking positive to yourself, it's changing mindset. Right now, it's rewriting mindset, rewriting the soul to look, to open, to awaken, to understand. Not just like acting on the basis of primary emotions, building from the prime age in the base of codependency survival mode. You're not born to live in survival fears in your life. You're born to create life. And that helps you to move forward. Of course, if you don't like the world that you live, you're born to make a new. You guys already know that. All right, so here is that energies talking about that, at 11 o'clock, that you're going to feeling those energies, that right and wrong within you. As you see at the top of the chart, it's blue, and from those synchronicity, the energies, the divine energy is going down towards the sun, Mercury, and Venus. This is what the divine is coming and gives you the messages. But you're going to see the energies that you're going to fight. Okay, that ascendant that is at the Taurus, it is about the material world. Okay, and you're gonna be getting it with that energy. But if you focus on the lower energies of this intense energies and this intensity, you're gonna be having a rough time. But if your focus is like, okay, whatever it's crushed to crush, whatever it's burned to burn, whatever it's gonna let, I'm gonna be building on. I'm good. I'm beautiful. I'm secure. I'm loved. And I heal in those patterns. And that's going to be the proper way to go to bed. Because if you go with the negative energies and you hold on to this, to that fight, there is Uranus is going to be rising in the horizon in there. Is going to be that oppositions with authority in there. Okay, and this is what you should be doing the right things with yourself. Okay, so build this energies inside of you. Okay, be mindful about the word boundaries, because some boundaries can keep you from harm, but they can keep you from evolution. You need to learn how to maintain the balance within yourself, within your own boundaries. What are you there? What do you do? And how do you do it? Okay, guys, and come back tomorrow. It's going to be more of that story. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Be love, guys. Oh, hi, Twin Flame Power. Intuition feels the intentions and the energies attached. Yeah, intuition feels, but the intuition can read those energies. And if you cannot read the energies, what do you need to do? You need to learn how to read them. but how you learn. You look into your soul, you look into the spirit, the teacher, training. And this is what right now it's training season with Mercury retrograde, not acting. A lot of the people who are acting during this Mercury retrograde, and they're learning big, that they act premature. They said something, they finished something, and then they feel sorry about it. Okay? So you're right. Okay? All right, guys. Let me give you some gifts, and we'll be seeing you in the next time. Hopefully this report helps you in your life, guys. Be love. Okay?